So there are a lot of y'all who don't get it, huh?
Get it on. Get it on.
Nigga, I'm the plug. Yeah.
Y'all don't get how acting a certain way around certain people will make it look bad for the rest of us because they don't just see you. You are not an individual when it comes to these types of people. You are a collective, regardless if you want to say the dumbest things to a individual who is clearly a fan of comic books. You want to say things like black people are not a monolith. Duh, I know that. Thank you. You know what? My next comic book, I am going to dedicate a superhero to you. Their name gonna be Captain Obvious. Guess what their power's gonna be? Anyway, it is not a good look because people, when they see someone of our complexion, I'm not talking about around the world because around the world is different. I'm talking about here in America. It does not matter where your black comes from. You still black, regardless if your ancestors got dropped off in Panama, regardless if your ancestors got dropped off in Puerto Rico, regardless if your ancestors got dropped off in England, you are still black when you come to America. Ask Trevor Noah. When you get to America, it is not because of how we see ourselves that we have to be aware. It's because of how everyone else sees us that we have to be aware. We have to be aware that just in case this person here might think how I act is how everyone else who looks like me acts. I have to act a certain way. I have to make sure that they understand no, that's not how this is going on. Respect me, respect my people, and everything is fine. I don't understand why you guys want to give people passes. Or better yet, why you want to say the craziest things like, I have to follow them in order to know what they say. Come on now. I know what they say. I ain't got to follow none of them. What type of shit is that? Why is it that you guys think that you need to support these people in order to find out what they say? This is not like you are watching them on CNN or anything like that. This is literally you going to their platform, supporting their platform, following their platform, and then making a content channel like this one, acting like you are unaware how monetization works. Come on now. Them bucks can't be that bad on that other side. The fact that y'all don't understand that there is a legit reason why Ernie was upset with this, and it has nothing to do with Milestone, but everything to do with the situations. Milestone was a small part of it. Milestone was just more like the straw that broke the camel's back. You understanding fully where this person stands because to say that you don't relate to the only comic book company that was at that level that is dedicated to telling stories for you. You say, no, I can't relate to them. But you can relate to Iron Man. You can relate to Thor. You can relate to the Fantastic Four. You can relate to Doctor Doom and the Joker, which says so much about you. I don't get it. Why is it that when you think it's a good idea to say black people are not a monolith in an environment or a situation like this, you should already know that the people who you're saying that to had to deal with that stuff themselves. It makes no sense why you think that at even the slightest chance, I have not had to prove that, but still maintain that I'm black. I don't go around that. That's base one. Right off contact, black. That helps the point that we're not a monolith. If you try to go all beating around the bush, then when you finally get to the point of indicating that you might be black, then you're just one of the good ones. Growing up as a black kid of non-immigrants, you base one learn before you learn anything else, especially growing up in a black neighborhood, in a black household, full of nothing but black family members outside of it. You know what you learn real early? What it's like to be black. Should stick with you. Now, if you don't get that, as in you weren't raised with that, then you're going to be lacking in that department. There's going to be things you should know. You should just know because you were raised on it. You was taught that. But if you don't come from that same household, you're not going to have those same feelings, those same lessons. If your parents came here, if you are a second generation or first generation, yeah, man, you might not get it. You probably should sit this one out. That's okay. That's fine. Just because you have opportunity for an opinion, sometimes you might not need to give it. That's cool. Somebody might feel that way from me. But I'm just saying, how could you give your opinion on something that you don't quite grasp? I don't understand where the disconnect is. And maybe that's because, I got an understanding that a lot of y'all ain't clicking. But it's real simple. The whole black community term, we didn't create that. Black crime, black on black crime, we didn't create that. These are terms that was used against us to market to others that don't look like us. I come from a city that when I say we have the most diverse ghetto, it is so many white folks that are like hood in my city, like legit hood. You know why? They grew up in the hood. They carry themselves just like anybody else who grew up in the hood. And you know what they ain't about to do neither? Act like people like Nick Fuentes. Because they grew up with black folks. They actually understand them. They ingrained with them. They don't really fit in with white folks now. But there's also so many white folks that's just like them. They ain't really worried about it. When it comes to thinking that black folks can act any way they want, that is exactly the type of stuff they want you to do. Because then they could turn around and, with your back and be like, got him, look at that. I don't get it. Maybe I ain't got all the information. Just like with this situation, because clearly a lot of y'all ain't get all the information. Maybe it takes you having, close people who understood the truth behind Malcolm X and Martin Luther King outside of what they tell you in school. Maybe you had to learn about Jesse Jackson in the house. I don't know. But y'all worrying me. Because we supposed to be the apparently smarter generation when it comes to the millennials. So the younger folks that's after us, man, y'all better use that damn AI to try to figure out the actual history behind stuff before y'all think that y'all should be just okay and shit. But I'm gonna go ahead and get up out of here because I really don't want to have to keep doing this. But if y'all need to get it together, man. This is exactly why Marvel and DC can do whatever they want to the black characters, because this stuff right here. So I'm gonna go ahead and get up out of here. I'll catch y'all on the next one. Y'all be cool. Peace.
Get it on.